What's going on, football fans? Today we're going to be getting into the top 10 rookies so far this season, and we're just going to get right started off with my honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is going to be Tandre Sweat, the defensive tackle for the Titans. He's almost 400 pounds, and he's been playing so many snaps. I believe it's about 300 to this point. I thought it might be half of that if they were lucky. He's played so much. He's actually shown quite a bit of pass rush moves and some potential in the pass rush game, which I didn't see in his tape at college. And he's also been a very good run stopper. Look at him in the Miami game. He looked so good if you just pull up the film. My next honorable mention is going to be Andrew Phillips. He has an 83 PFF grade to this point, and he's been starting the Giants every single week this season. He's already their second best corner, and he's allowed just 11 catches on for 43 yards this whole season. My next honorable mention is Joe Alt, who you'd expect to be higher on this list, but he just hasn't played that much. He only has 300 snaps, and he's allowed 2 sacks and 2 penalties. However, he's shown a lot of flashes, including shutting down Max Crosby, and he did a lot of good stuff before the injury, and he still looked like a very good tackle, which is just huge for a draft pick. And finally, got Dominic Blantern. He's played every snap this season. He's allowed 0 sacks and 0 quarterback hits, just being a really good guard for the 49ers, and one of the reasons why they're still able to run the ball so well without Christian McCaffrey. At number 10, I got Drake May. Now, I'd argue he's been the most impressive rookie quarterback this season. Since you look at what Jacoby Brissett was able to accomplish with this team, it was not very much. I believe he was averaging about 110 yards per game, and he had less touchdowns than Drake May has to this point. Drake May's played 2 games and already has 5 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions, really taking care of the ball while pushing it downfield and giving them a shot to win. His best players are probably Hunter Henry and Demario Douglas, along with the fact that his offensive line, it's so beat up. I believe they have like 3 third stringers playing right now. It's so bad in New England, and their whole team is terrible, and he's the lone bright spot on their team. At number 9, I got Caleb Williams, who he actually hasn't been too bad recently. He had a really slow start. I believe he had 80 yards against the Titans, but he's been able to bounce back and getting better really every week if you watch him. So he has 9 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions, and he's been taking care of the ball really well and helping the Bears win. However, they haven't really beaten any good teams yet, so we'll have to see how he fares the rest of the season, where they have a pretty difficult schedule. At 8, I got Evan Williams. He has an 89.4 PFF grade, which leads to all rookies, and it's 5th among all safeties. If you watch him, he's been playing the nickel, free safety, strong safety, really just moved around everywhere in Jeff Hafley's defense. He's been flying to the ball. He was really one of the heroes of that game against the Texans, since they went for 2 on one of their tries, and he stopped Mixon in the backfield. Such a strong tackle. That really saved the game, since it was a 2-point game after the field goal, so it was a really huge play, and he's been able to make a lot of tackles. He's been very good in coverage, and this is a guy who's a 4th-round pick for the Packers, so huge value there. At 7, I got Quincy Mitchell. He's popped on film so much, just been such a good shutdown corner. If he could catch the ball, he'd be widely known as one of the best corners in the league, in my opinion, after watching his tape. He's looked so good, just been so sticky in man coverage, and also very formidable in zone coverage. This is a guy who I had as my number 1 corner coming into the season, and you just see all the traits popping, and he's looked like an amazing player on the field. At number 6, I got Jared Verse. He's a 22% pass rush win percentage, which is insane. He's missed 12 tackles, though, which is one reason why he's this low. I believe if he can just clean up that tackling, he could be one of the better edge rushers in the league. This is kind of what I was saying when he's coming out of the draft. One of the reasons why I didn't like him is because, one, he won with power and athleticism, just being stronger and just faster than all the other tackles he went up against, which he really has shown hasn't been a huge problem, and he's really developed a lot of other pass rush moves. But also the missed tackles, which is still a problem. He's missed a lot of sacks, which if he gets these sacks, he would be by far the runaway favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. However, right now it's a little close between him, Mitchell, and Latu. At number 5, I got Zack Fraser. He's already a top 5 center in football, in my opinion. I don't think it's close. His rookie year so far has kind of reminded me of Tyler Linderbaum, where instantly he's just top 5. He's looked so good, getting to the second level, making pancake blocks, helping his running backs get through. It's one of the reasons why Najee Harris has looked pretty good to this point compared to how he's looked the rest of the season. And he's been just shut down in pass protection, allowing 0 sacks and having 0 penalties with an 82 PFF grade. At number 4, I got Brian Thomas Jr. 2.6 yards per route run is very good, and he's already beaten out Christian Kirk as Trevor Lawrence's favorite target. Trevor Lawrence, going back to his college days, like throwing to big guys like T. Higgins that he could just push the ball downfield to. That's why I really like this matchup this match sort of made in heaven with him and Brian Thomas. I thought this was a perfect player to sort of unlock Trevor Lawrence, and this has been his best season by far, in my opinion. I've been pretty impressed with Trevor Lawrence to this point, and I think Brian Thomas Jr. is a huge reason why. At number 3, I got another receiver. I got Malik Neighbors. He is averaging less yards per route run, but he's really just the only player on the Giants' offense, and people are still not able to stop him. You just watch the games, and just every throw, Daniel Jones is just throwing it to Malik Neighbors. It's insane. He gets open, he makes plays, so he's worth it, and the defense knows it's coming, and they can't stop him. He's one of the best route runners in the league already, and one of the best after-catch receivers. Maybe already top 10 receiver, and as a rookie, that's just insane. At number 2, I got Jaden Daniels. He has an 80% adjusted completion percentage, which is insane. Really, you want to be in those like a low 70s range is really good. So getting to 80 is really good. 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, along with 372 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. He's been making plays for the team, and he's leading the number 1 scoring offense. And if you look before the season, on paper, that offense did not look any good, and he's just able to make plays with it. However, one reason why he's not number 1 is when he got hurt, I think he's not going to play for the next couple weeks maybe. And 2, just see what Marcus Mariota was able to do in that offense. It shows that a lot of it's Cliff Kingsbury's system, so we'll have to see. But Jaden Daniels is already one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and that's super impressive for a rookie who came into what seemed to be a bad situation. And finally, at number 1, I got a player who's already the best at his position. I got Brock Bowers. He has 500 receiving yards this season. He's fantasy tight end 1, and that's with only scoring 1 touchdown. You watch him on the Raiders offense, he's the only player. Everybody knows the ball's going to him, but they can't stop him. He is the most dominant tight end in the league right now. Gets open at an insane rate, and even though he's living with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew at quarterback, he's still able to put up stats, and he's looked so good, better than anybody anticipated. This is why he was the number 4 player on my draft board, and he's just proven that just every snap of every game. And that's all for the top 10 rookies in the NFL. Make sure you guys subscribe and check out my other content. I'll be posting 2 to 3 times per week, so make sure you guys hit that notification bell to make sure you catch all that and like this video. See you next time.